all lose energy.
Talking about losing energy, we're live at the after show.
Hi,
So not really
welcome
live,
to
but
the
you know.
after show.
Hi, welcome to
For
Mike and James
episode
Monster
9.
podcast.
What?
No.
What? What?
Just no.
Welcome to Mike. It's Mike and James. Yeah, we're co-opting this. It's now Mike and James Monster podcast.
No,
No.
it's not. No, just no. On every conceivable level and a few inconceivable ones. No.
So we lost Gerbil because he was tired. But we have his Starsome wish, which was, I believe, Star, me, Leroy Jenkins into Stray, and Wish, I forgot.
To kill Crowley.
Kill Crowley, there we go. Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
isn't that what we're all wishing for? Like,
is it?
I mean, he's so terrible. I love
wanted,
playing him, but I hate him so much.
I've wanted Crowley dead since that one episode of Legends of Tomorrow.
Wait, which one?
No.
That was an episode
you have to give us more than that.
There was an episode where they find Crowley trapped in John Constantine's attic, and then he tricks a witch to swapping him. He was trapped inside a painting, so he tricked a young witch to put him in John's body and trap John inside a painting.
Huh.
Oh, okay, nice.
Sounds
in the
Crowley.
comics, John does get Crowley to help him fuck over Satan at a lake in Scotland. So yeah, it's a whole thing.
I think the episode implied something similar happened in the show where the Crowley helped out John, then John trapped him in a painting because Crowley's a fucking asshole.
But anyway, enough about Constantine. As much as I love it, this is the after show. Let's go over our stars and wishes. I really enjoyed this episode. I think I say that most of these sessions, but the Stray being such a potentially violent character, with a lot of like damage potential and things, like I think it was played correctly on my end and on your side. So
I think I had a big 3D chess mind move.
Yeah, no, it could have been way worse. Like if you guys had retreated, like there would have been far more like things coming down on you.
I think telling people to bite was the strat.
Yeah, I mean biting is such a tactic. I do it all the time.
I wish Elliot could have done it, because Elliot doing what Zack did would have been mad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, Elliot would have 100% brutal feed him to 0 and just devoured Stray Soul.
And Marks.
Yeah, minor detail.
Two souls for the price of one.
Yeah. Great.
It's a clearance sale. Yeah.
So
yeah, my goal from the beginning was I was going to give Zack one attempt to fully join them both, and the role decided then hit or miss. So then I was going to either back down or he'll be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Side note: one werewolf can feed 2 vampires.
I know.
Oh, well,
I was telling everyone else. I know you know.
He wasn't quite a werewolf. So now that we're past this, I can explain a little bit more.
He was a werewolf soul.
Yeah, he was the ghost of like a little Victorian dude who like struggled to feed himself, and that hunger sort of carried on to the afterlife, and then he got picked up by Carly and turned into this horrible monster. He wasn't quite a werewolf, but he was close enough.
He was
he was like a spectre,
Kinfolk.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like a whole weird thing because again, the game doesn't give me a lot of rules for working with ghosts. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll do my own thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Just interpret that as I'll do whatever the fuck I want then.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want you guys to have to fight like an actual werewolf because those dice rolls are fucking ridiculous.
I mean, an actual werewolf has Fortitude 5. They can have the equivalent of flesh of marble.
I had a werewolf, like for anyone who's watching the Aftershow in the future, I had a werewolf turn up in an off-stream game that these guys were in, and the werewolf did an attack and they convinced the werewolf to help them fight the SI, and the werewolf did an attack. The werewolf did an attack against one of the SI leaders and got a 13 success super crit against the SI members. Like, I didn't even bother checking to see if it would kill him. There's no point. He's dead. Like, even if he had armor, he's dead. Like, you don't.
Even if he halved as a
missed.
vampire, that's still 7 health. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it's a werewolf attack. That's aggravated, and I think it's aggravated when it's a werewolf.
Don't deal aggravated. They deal on half superficial, like feral weapons.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, and even if it was full aggravated damage that they were dealing, there are like, you would have to be a vampire with like the most health you could possibly have, which I think is like 15.
17, I think.
17. Okay then. Yeah, and even then you would even then you would barely be surviving one hit.
Okay, so stamina 5, plus 3, plus
45
is
13.
That's 13. 15 is if you have a ghost possessing you.
Yep.
As a ride along. I don't know if the power bonuses of higher blood potency apply to Valent.
No, I don't think they do.
Yeah. Probably not. Okay, fair. Wow.
Yeah. The only questionable one is whether the increase in stamina from the other level 5 potence power would affect it.
Paris and Pain, I think it doesn't. It doesn't affect derivatives specifically.
Okay, in which case I don't think there would be a way to get past 15. I think we've done this math for the sheet before.
we have, yeah, we've talked about this when you're doing your own sheet. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and do the stars for my 3 lovely players
just
here.
us nerds being nerds.
Yeah, I mean, I love this game, like, from the bottom of my heart. It's
a fun game. I love vampires. Vampires are awesome.
Yeah. So, Jizzer, your star for this session.
My star is Elliot. My star is Elliot, half Elliot losing the arm, and half Shadows just being like as soon as he said, "So I got Devil's Bargain," Shadows went, "I'll take it." Just without even waiting to hear what it was, I'll take it. So that's my star. Is just Shadows. How ready and willing Shadows is to just get fucked up.
I'm waiting for the devil moment. I have a devil bargain. I'll take it. Okay, then. So Sack dies.
I would have taken that.
Yeah.
God, that would be an amazing final.
I mean, I just want to say, right? I would have taken that because Sack dying would have necessitated so much of a good side that, we would have been fine. So, yeah.
I
trust our storyteller to be balanced.
I feel like if Jenny did say that, they're like, if you take this Devil's Bargain, Zach dies, I feel like Shadows would just be like, just pause for a beat and go, did I stutter?
Sack dies, but you disarm the werewolf.
I don't think that would have been a fair give and take.
Fair trade.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been a fair trade. I think RSD can come up with better things.
I was really glad to do the werewolf blood thing with Thin Bloods, because like typically the rule is resonance of 2 dots, but this is a other supernatural creature. It has 2 resonances. Like, let's go a bit fucking wild with this. And yeah, I really like that sort of thing of Zach, who doesn't really have any physical prowess himself, just going into this very feral mode compared to his usual. It was satisfying. Like I love like the werewolf blood effect. There's a reason we don't give it to thin bloods. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And I hope that that didn't feel cheap in any way. Like I felt like you guys earned it.
I lost an arm for it. I think
Yeah.
it's worth it.
I really liked it.
To...
I wasn't sure a bullet would do anything, much less take him out in just one shot.
And yeah, another cost of this is I'm going to be very hesitant to fucking feed going forward because of this, or just wasting or rousing.
Yeah, my one regret is you don't have a like proper beast.
You can still be paranoid from it because I think that's one of the things that happen.
Sure, but like I might give you like the effects of a beast, like generally as a nod to that effect. Like, you know, you've kind of inherited the werewolf beasts. But I'll have to think about that.
Yep, I got a beast in me.
Yeah, apparently.
I just want to point out Elliot losing his shit at the shooting thing is mostly because he's full willpower.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking negatives to any mental action, so he's just like, stop it.
Right, yeah.
He's just done with this shit.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, like I feel like James, like I said James would have gone for a more less lethal shot, like he would have gone for like shooting through the heart. He would have made sure to shoot somewhere where they can still survive long enough that they can get medical attention. So a gut shot makes sense in that regard because you'll be in unimaginable pain, but you'll live for a decent amount of time.
Yeah, so before we get into that a bit, let's move on and get Lil's start for the episode.
I'm going to be a diva and say Wolfsack. I love
Wolfsack. Wolfsack was cool.
Wolfsack was nice.
Yeah. Again, like very cool to just sort of see Zach like in that moment of like, this blood is delicious, like the best I've ever had. It was like, you know, Angel's series finale, you know, my blood is full of their ancient power. It's like, can you guess the one thing you shouldn't have said? It was beautiful. I love it.
I did love that. And guess the one part of that you shouldn't have said.
And Huish?
My other favorite line from Angel is I think it's that same episode, right? Where Angel is fighting this super strong dude, and they're monologuing at each other as they fight, and one part Angel goes, "Those who don't care will never understand those who do," and the guy he's fighting just goes, "But we won't care."
Yeah.
I have always loved that just comeback. It's such a perfect comeback. But we won't care.
So
He
Wish.
says as he like backhands him through a wall.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
But we won't care.
So Shadows, Wish.
Wait, did Lil do a wish?
Yeah, Wolfsack.
Oh, wait, wasn't that your star? I thought the star was Werewolf Sack.
Oh, stars. Yeah, sorry, star. I mean, we're doing star first, and then
we
do wishes after. We do one, then the other.
Yeah, my brain's fried. Sorry.
That's fine.
Elliot wasn't the only one
taking. It's only we've done this for like
full willpower. Yeah. It's been a while, and
it has.
It's been 2 weeks. We've missed one session, guys. Come on.
It's been a while.
I mean, Easter was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working hard not to give the star to myself for Leroy Jenkins.
I mean, you can if you want. Like, it was a good moment.
Be a diva.
You know what? I'll give it to the fight me one-on-one bit.
What when I went into when James goes into the room, and come get something I can fight back.
No, Elliot telling Stray, like, let's just one-on-one each other.
Thought that was a cool moment too.
Yeah, I mean, like this episode was like full of like good moments.
Yeah.
I really like that because like it appeals to the Stray's desire to not hurt anyone. Like the Stray's under certain constraints and orders that has to follow.
I mean, I also thought like
the bindings on it.
Stray plus, werewolf, maybe he would appeal to the warrior, let's one-on-one this shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of that coming out when like you start to land like actual hits on it. It's like, oh, let's do this.
Didn't you have Stray say something like, "I'm begrudgingly going to enjoy this"?
Yeah. You know what? I'll give the start to that moment. Elliot actually getting Stray to want to fight.
Yeah. Which was impressive because it's like a reluctant werewolf thing fighting like inside a priest, and like neither of them really want to hurt you, but they're like, former gangster and like someone that's just like very scrappy in general, just being like, yeah, okay, like let's do this.
And he didn't once yell out "puppy power."
I would never, like, if I ever do that, you can kill me.
Screw that. Scrappy Doo is one of the greatest characters ever made.
Oh, well, that is, like, the hill that I will die on against you.
Sorry, I love Scrappy as a character. He is overhated.
He is.
That is definitely a hill.
Anyway, I'm going to give myself for the letter.
No, that was a good letter.
The letter was really good.
I wrote that letter after drinking a lot of vodka and watching episodes of Supernatural.
Nice.
And I was like, I know what this is about. And then I like sat there for like 20 minutes just typing this stuff up.
Did you cry while typing it? That's the question.
No, I would never cry.
You definitely cried while typing it.
It was so good.
It's a good letter.
I love from Mark's side of things, like he has a chance to redeem a soul that is so far beyond redemption from its own point of view. Like this is the person who died like 200 plus years ago, and is just having a terrible time, has had to do terrible things.
I could see
he could accept this and try to make things fair, so he can like go and wander off into the distance. So I wrote that letter with that in mind of like he will either die in this fight to help protect his friends, or his friend in the group, or he will maybe walk away, but he is going to try and fix this thing that is a part of him. Like he won't let go. Like it has tried to possess him and he is holding on to it. No, actually, this isn't a possession, this is a hug. Like,
damn it, I was about to make that same joke. I was going to be like, this ghost just possesses Mark. And it's like, I'm possessing you, Mark. Like, I tricked you, hug.
Yeah.
Again, I can say Mark and Stray, the entire thing is a great setup for a comic book series.
Yeah, it is.
An action horror comic book series.
I mean, it'd be a great like hunter antagonist side character thing. But yeah,
I'd make them a protagonist, because
might be a bit too strong as a protagonist.
Yeah, I don't think they should be a regular thing. They should like show up in like one, like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. Like they should be in like an arc to be like, here is a problem, I'm going to help solve it. And it should be a thing where like the hunters don't know if they're on their side, you know. Because I mean, the street's powers are dangerous.
Essentially, in a hunter's game, it's like we're dealing with a vampiric cult or some bullshit like that, and they summon a big scary thing, and Mark/Stray is like, I'll deal with the big guy while you deal with the cultists.
Yeah. I think James is gonna. I think James would swing by to Mark's place and be like, "Hey, before you destroy those gloves,
which he's
you
not
could
doing.
help."
Oh, he's not destroying the gloves. He's like going to like heal up and leave.
He said we should destroy the gloves if we killed him.
Yeah.
All right. And in that case, he'll turn up at Mark's if Mark is still there, and try to convince Mark to help them instead of leaving. To be like, look,
like the point he was trying to convey in the letter and everything is that he is terrified of Crowley.
Yeah.
He can't fight Crowley in any real way.
Yeah, he's hugging Stray, but Crowley could crowbar that hug apart.
Yeah.
In that case, James would want to know if there is anyone Stray knows of that wouldn't be afraid of Crowley, that would ally themselves with a bunch of vampires who are just as much victims as all the spirits he's abusing.
The answer is no, because Jen wants us to do this by ourselves.
I know, but it's still ask.
I mean, above game, I am thoroughly against the players bringing outside help.
Oh yeah. It's something he would ask. He'd be like, "Well, if you're not going to help, then like in 200 years, surely you met someone."
Yeah. I mean, him leaving is the help, right? Like,
yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Crowley is going to have Mary and Jack like protecting him, for the finale. So. That's a whole problem.
Yeah.
But
unless we find the boots of the mirror before the finale.
Yeah. I in that case, like if Mark does say that he's not going to help and doesn't know anyone that can, he will ask for Mark to at least teach him how to purify.
That's what the blood ritual you gave me was for.
Oh, okay then. Oh, right. Okay, Deb. And in that case, I don't think there's anything else. I think he would just simply say goodbye to his friend. Just be like,
I mean, that was the point of the letter as well. Like, he was saying goodbye.
Yeah, I know, but I guess
you were not seeing Mark again. Is what Jen is trying to say.
Yeah. So in that case, I'll go with the original idea for James. What would have been James's final scene in that episode, if I remembered, is James in the chapel in the hospital alone, right?
So wishes.
Yeah, wishes. Before we lose Lil. I'm just
getting comfy.
Your wish going forward. What would you like to see more of? What how do you hope that things will go for the rest of this? I'm gonna veto anything that is I hope to kill Crowley, because we all hope to kill Crowley. So most of us hope to kill Crowley, but whatever.
I mean, I do in and out of character. Lil, what's your wish?
No. What's your wish?
No, these are you can't force it off on us.
You don't skip it.
Sorry, I didn't realize you had said me first. I thought you said Lil.
Yeah. No. I always start with you.
Gross.
'Cause you're always to my left.
My wish is when I in my head I imagined that we would find Jack's corpore body like asleep during the day. I assumed he was a vampire. So I was gonna have James like stake him, and that was in my head. I was planning that James would stake him and simply talk to him, and just tell him how much he fucked up before just opening the curtains in the middle of the day and watching Jack burn. But I feel like at this point, I feel like at this point with everything that's happened. I think what I would like to see happen is if we get the boots and we're about to do the blood ritual for James to call Jack to see if Jack appears as a spirit, and just be like, and then just be like, you owe me an apology. If you want me to let Zach finish this ritual, apologize for what you did to my mother.
Fair. Vindictive, but fair. I don't know if Jack will go for it, but I look forward to the fight beforehand. Even put them in that position because it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. Will. Wish.
How realistic do you want my wish?
I mean, as realistic as you want, I guess.
Because my Hail Mary wishes, I want to find a way to make these buffs permanent.
Right. Okay, I mean, that's not unreasonable. You can maybe find a gangrel to eat and be like, hey. But yeah, there's limitations.
So even if I ate the gangrel, wouldn't I lose the werewolf buff then? Because I've just fed on someone.
Yeah. You would become a gangrel though, so
exactly. That's the point. I want to stay what I am right now and keep these powers.
Yeah, that's not happening.
For that, you would need a formula or something. Like, there's maybe a chance of a level 5 formula that would take like years to research to be like, I made these a permanent part of my soul.
So what we're saying is the only way for this to be a thing is find Mark again, cut off his legs, and lock him in a basement.
Yeah.
Wow. Rude.
Approved in a very dark way. I love it. Let's go.
You're only approving because then Elliot gets to eat the legs.
No, I mean, Will is not beating the accusations about Joey being a sociopath, like, and Zach now following in that footstep, like.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, Zach is basically just again, Joey light.
Lil is making these jokes. Zach would never actually do it.
Sure.
So what's your serious wish?
The only reason I even had him roll is because of his addiction issue. That was not he was active, you know.
Yeah. So what's your serious wish, nerd? You said that was your Hail Mary wish. What's your serious wish?
Do you want us to come back here?
And the basic wish is I want the fucking ghost. I want to get rid of I want to purify the ghosts. Honestly, Zach Zach has two things he wants to do with Mary. Either team up with her properly, because they do have similar ideas. It's just, he feels like we could learn from each other. I teach you to learn moderation in who you get vengeance on. You make it easier for me to get vengeance on other people.
I don't think Mary wants to. That's the thing. I don't think Mary wants. I don't think any of them are really willing.
Yeah, I know.
But
I think Jack is probably willing.
Other than that,
probably.
I am okay with pure. I wish I do want to purify those two. Then get them to the other side if they want.
Yeah.
I will say that's not outside of the realms of possibility in terms of like getting Mary on your side. Um, there's a whole element of things that's happened in the background, which is I don't know, it's not been any way to reveal it. So
Yeah.
beyond what has happened already. So yeah.
Sadly, you couldn't do what I do with you and my parents game, where I use your guest role to reveal a lot of the villain background stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, there's stuff in the finale that will change some of the perceptions here, I think.
It's
Yeah.
going to turn out that Crowley is actually one of the good guys, and he's on the path of Golconda, and like he's actually a hero, and he's fighting an even bigger threat, and then it just turns into World of
Press
Warcraft.
X to doubt.
I would never do that simply because I hate Golconda. Like vampires can't be saved. That is such bullshit.
I like Golconda because I get to fuck with it. I like Golconda, but only because I made my own Golconda ritual, which I stumped Shadows with it because I told him what Bryce's ritual was going to be and what his final trial would be, and Shadows couldn't think whether or not Bryce would pass that. Bryson. Was it Bryce or Bryson?
Bryson.
I don't remember anymore.
I am not a huge fan of that sort of redemption thing.
I like redemption, but only if it's properly earned.
I feel like vampires should always fear the sword of Damocles held over their head. And anything that would make that not be hanging on their heads is
I like it. I like it because it offers the hope of redemption. It offers the chance. It's a slim chance, and it's a road that can be very, very dangerous to walk. It can take centuries to reach the end of that road.
Yeah, but then it's not really all that useful in a story.
That's
for a player character, it should be the hope of redemption, but with like all the risk and pain of failing to live up to it. Like it should hurt. Like that's what vampires all about. Making the characters hurt as much as possible.
It do be like that.
The issue with someone trying to follow Golconda is like if they're trying to do it, there is no reason for them to be hanging around other kindred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, wishes.
Wish.
I think me, right?
Yeah.
My wish. Is to see how low Elliot is gonna get. He's at 5 so far. How low can we drive this before the end?
How low can you go?
Fair. Yeah, I don't have anything to like build on that. Like I also want to drive all of you into the dirt.
Yeah.
Just as a DM or a storyteller, just
also
not so much as I want you to suffer. I want you to sort of like I always enjoy the vampire thing of like, you know, your convictions versus your situation.
So far, sex humanity is A-okay.
Yeah, weirdly, but yeah.
Somehow.
On the subject of humanity,
I was gonna ask.
Does James get a humanity? I wasn't going to ask, but Jebel did, so I'll ask for him because he's gone.
How moved is James by the letter?
given everything that's happened, given that he had to shoot his best friend, given that his dad hates him, his mum is
Hospitalized.
in critical condition, his brother is kidnapped, I think it broke him. Which is why I was imagining at the very end, when everything settled down, James goes to a church and he prays.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the humanity increase. If you take the conviction, always help your friends.
For them. I'll take that.
For the negative side of things, do I get any stains from leaving someone to bleed after removing their IV?
I feel like that's at least 2 stains, right? Like, it has to be.
Yep.
Like, that's not even like callous, that's just evil.
Is it? Because he has no willpower, right? So mentally, he's just kind of gone. So he drank, stepped outside to the voices. Right?
Not having any willpower is not an excuse for evil. Like,
I'm not saying it's evil. I'm just saying he had a lapse in thought.
Sure, and that's again, that's an excusey action.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
What was the conviction? Sorry,
I'm saying it's not evil. It's just he didn't care.
You still murdered someone.
Oh yeah.
Not caring might increase that to 3 stains. To be honest, like
yeah, because
things break.
The whole point of a remorse roll is that you can choose. You can choose to drop. You can just choose to lose the humanity.
So what I'm saying is he didn't care in the moment, right?
Exactly, and that's what this remorse roll represents.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I was trying to explain was, in his mind, right? Very hurt because he lost his arm. I treat full up on willpower as you're just kind of not thinking, right? Like you're going on auto mode. So he feeds.
Willpower is purely mental, right? So it's more like you just any filter you might have had, you don't have anymore. So,
I'm telling you how I treat it, right?
I'm sorry.
Mentally, you're just checked out.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
So if he's mentally checked out, takes an IV out, drinks, doesn't even drink all that much, right? He drank like 2 dots.
Yeah.
And then keeps hearing noises of voices he recognizes. Just like stands up and goes there. I think in the moment he didn't think about it, right?
Sure. Okay, so maybe it's not like a conscious evil, but like that lack.
That's what I was trying to say, right? It's like he's also Humanity 5, so things break, and he already picked someone who was dying, right?
Sure. I mean, but that's representing you being Humanity 5. Like, you have more dice to roll on this remorse.
Oh, yeah.
To be like, I can feel worse about this.
No, I was just saying,
if I do feel bad about this, then this is a terrible thing that I have done. And you can recognize your own callousness.
What I was saying is
medically impaired situation.
Wasn't consciously evil.
Yeah. Okay, so I stand by 2 stains.
Okay.
I think that still leaves you 3 dice. So it should be okay. But yeah. I mean, does Elliot feel bad about this whole situation?
Well, I don't know. Does he? That's what the remorse pool is for.
I mean, like,
I, as the player, don't think it was an action that he wouldn't feel bad about. But also, I don't know if he feels bad about, right? That's why the roll.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not just choosing the drop.
Yeah, okay, fair. Cool. And then make your roll.
I just had a really dumb idea. Just like when we managed to kill Crowley, James texts. James just texts. What?
Elliot feels
really
bad about that.
Yeah.
like super bad, like the worst he's ever felt.
Oh,
Okay.
I
And with that,
closed.
I'm heading off now. Nail.
Yeah,
Hi.
I closed the browser, so I didn't see what he rolled.
3 out of 3. All
Damn.
successes.
But
I think that's
I-
probably messed up Shadow's cameras again.
Oh yeah, horribly.
So let's wrap up here.
yeah, let's just end it here. Bye. Whichever side.
Bye, folks.
Hi.
Bye.
Happy birthday.
Thank you for watching. Toodles.